Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition. We are on the Roland campaign and we just completed Scenario 6, defending the Sorceress Guild, and as a result we just picked up a new award. We have the Sorceress Guild, and so Sister Eliza can be hired in this scenario. I don't know if Sister Eliza has increased stats. I don't know if she starts with some spells in her spell book. I don't know if she's just there for moral support, but one way or the other, Sister Eliza can now be hired in the scenario. I'm excited to find out what that's about. We have made a couple of choices so far in the campaign. We chose to assist the dwarves in the optional Scenario 3, and as a result got the Dwarven Alliance, where we have dwarves and battle dwarves. And we also made the decision whether to abandon Roland for King Archibald, or to stay with Roland and see this thing through to the end. We, of course, decided to see this thing through to whatever end. But now we have a new choice. We can either choose to do Scenario 7, or we can choose to do Scenario 8, but not both. Let's view the intro.
The sorceresses send their regards for your aid and promise to make available their best practitioners while you remain in my service. My good general, I require your counsel. The time draws near when we must prepare and launch an attack against my evil brother. My advisors have given me mixed advice. Half say that I should send you to gather troops for the attack against the lords that remain loyal to Archibald, while the other half tell me to send you on a quest through the travel gates to find the fabled ultimate crown. What say you?
Okay, so how this happens, I'm not quite sure, but Roland's advisors half say, let's go find this ultimate crown, and half say, let's take out some of Archibald's strategic allies. Either is a choice, and both will have their own separate award, I am sure. Let's read Scenario 7, the Gauntlet, first. Gather as large of an army as possible and capture the enemy castle within 8 weeks. You are opposed by only one enemy, but you must travel a long way to get to the enemy castle. Any troops you have in your army at the end of the scenario will be with you in the final battle. Okay. On to Scenario 8, the Crown. Find the crown before Archibald's Archibald's heroes find it. Roland will need the crown for the final battle against Archibald. So we have the choice between having an army that we can build now that will be available for us at the end of the campaign, or we can find this ultimate crown. What the crown does, I'm not particularly sure. I imagine it's an artifact, and that the artifact has many statistics associated with it. Makes for one really strong hero. I'll tell you right now, I remember a very little bit about both of these scenarios from the years ago that I played. If I recall right, Scenario 7, the Gauntlet, it's quite possible to get lost in several ins and outs. It's a forest where if you go down the wrong path, you may not have enough time within the 8-week gap to get back and conquer the enemy castle. And then Scenario 8 gives us the first look into some adventure map options that we haven't looked at yet, but I've mentioned several times that we will eventually get to. I said that there was a scenario that will highlight a lot of these mechanics of the game that we haven't touched on yet that we would eventually get to. Folks, for better or for worse, I set myself up for us to do Scenario 8. It would be a shame if I missed out on the biggest and best opportunity in both of the campaigns to really talk about obelisks and digging for the ultimate artifact. So we will be doing Scenario 8, the Crown. The only consideration we have now is which faction will we choose? Wizarding factions, the sorceresses, or knights? To this point, we did Wizard Scenario 1, we did Knights Scenario 2, Sorceresses for Scenario 3, I believe back to Sorceresses for Scenario 4. Scenario 5 was Knights as well. It was that very tiny map. And then Scenario 6, we just completed as Sorceresses as well. Folks, it's time for us to do a wizard map. It's been a minute. And even if I go wizards for the rest of this campaign and the rest of this playthrough, I think that I've given you a good insight into what the knights and the sorceresses can do. So the choice is made. Let's check the difficulty, make sure it's on hard, and let's dive in. Archibald has also sent an army to find the crown. You must find it first, or all is lost. We start off in this wizarding town. Looks like we have the halflings and the boars that we can recruit. Looks like we do have Sister Eliza here. She starts off as a level 5 hero that we can recruit. Spell power, knowledge. She has, the fair troops that most new recruitable heroes will start with for her class. But she also has the additional secondary skills to go along with her being level 5. Estates, luck, ballistics. I don't know if that will change from map to map, but it's nice to know that we start off, potentially, if we choose to use her, with a hero that can be valuable right off the bat. Gives us a huge boost in possibilities. Let's just check to see if she has any spells. Nope, just the standard bless that every sorceress will start with. With this being said, especially since she's a new thing and I like new and shiny things, we are going to get Sister Eliza, and I'm probably going to make her my main hero. With that being said, I'm going to drop most of the units here in the castle. This is Kalindra, the wizard. I look again, just like the last map, we have very few precious resources, 2, 2, 2, and 2 of the precious resources available, and very low amounts of gold with 5,000. So I'm going to assume that one of my heroes is going to need to really cover a lot of ground to pick up whatever resources I can. So let's go start with that. Because Sister Eliza is level 5, I may be able to go left and take some of these treasure chests or any other treasure chests that Kalindra finds along the way and turn them into gold instead of experience points. We'll take the 1,500 gold here. We will get the artifact. A merchant from far away lands, trades you a new invention of his people for traveling supplies. It makes distant objects appear closer, and he calls it a telescope. I butchered the reading on that. Thank you for still sticking with me. This gives us a +1 to our sight when we are adventuring. It's like basic scouting. As you can see, I can view one tile further. That's excellent to start off with. And let's start picking up some free resources. Let's go back and make sure that we get Sister Eliza. I don't mind having the units combined at this point. I will take whatever I can get. We'll start off with the rocks. Oh goodness, we are already out of money. Oh my goodness, I can't even afford my halflings and my boars. I could only afford 2 out of my 3 rocks. This is going to be a challenge. I really might just take the gold on those. For now though, let's clear out these sprites and get a little bit of additional experience just because we can. Make sure that my shooters are in the top corner. I prefer to do that so that way there's less surface area for some pesky pixies to attack. See what I did there? Oh, they're not pixies, they're sprites. I told myself I would do better on that. That is quite the loss. Let's fight this battle. And again, we don't have any combat spells to our disposal. We have Bless. Good candidates for Bless is the halflings, doing between 1 to 3 damage. 2 to 4 dwarves, 1 to 2 damage. Probably not very good there. Probably not very good here. And then probably our best unit to get blessed will be the rocks. I think that 2 rocks can probably take out 1 stack of pixies, though. Let's go into full defensive mode here. Uh-oh. Interesting that the computer thought it would be best to take out these sprites, probably because they have no enemy retaliation. So I suppose I can figure out what's going to happen next. I'm guessing that these sprites will come across the battlefield and attack this stack. I don't think that they're going to attack the halflings. If they attack this one first, I'm guessing that they will attack them again. Otherwise, I would move to this hex and make sure that my halflings are going to get off full damage for being shooters. Let's give it a shot and see what happens. And I chose wrong. I chose so wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. I can be wrong. Because I got plenty of spell points, I'm going to make sure that this is a for sure destruction of 1 stack of sprites. And then I'm going to have the halfling skip. The dwarves will do some serious damage. I will let the boars wait. And then I will have the biggest stack of sprites go down. There goes the halflings. I'm losing a ton of troops in this fight. I don't like it at all, but I don't want to get too far away from my home castle because my plan is to pick up this gold and then start again the next day. And I'm going to use a tip that was put to me by a very important person who's been in the comments. One of the FHeroes team members has given me this tip that if I put my slow units into the castle while I'm docked here overnight, then the recalculation of my heroes' overall movement points will increase. Right now I have 250 out of 1,400 move points. If I move the dwarves back, I will start with only 1,000 move points. So I can save myself a significant amount of moving points, or I can get a greater cap tomorrow if I just have the boars in there from 1,000 up to 1,400. Thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. Let's do that now and wait overnight. Go on to day 2. Okay. Let's pick up some of these resources and let's prioritize the gold. I won't be able to get those ones. I'm a little concerned about all this snow up here. If I can, I don't want to be boxed in by archers. I don't want to be boxed in by halflings. We might have to make a break for it, but I especially don't want to make a break for it into the snow if at all possible. Sister Eliza can use some more troops. Let's get them all. And let's see, I am not going to take the golems with me on the road. I've said in the past that I think that they're great for a garrison unit, and so they shall stay for me at this time. I will pick up the statue. It looks like gold is going to be of great importance to me in this game, starting off with so little. And let's start adventuring. I will take the experience here, and I am pretty happy with that. I mentioned in a previous video that if you really want to get a wizard army that has archery as one of the secondary skills, that you should probably pick either a sorceress or a barbarian. Sorceresses and barbarians have the greatest chance of getting the archery skill, whereas a wizarding hero has the lowest chance to get archery as a secondary skill. It's not impossible, but it's much more difficult. And so we now have this opportunity with Sister Eliza as a sorceress. She is going to have the best chance to pick up archery, which for a faction, the wizards, that have a level 1 shooter, a level 5 shooter, and a level 6 once upgraded shooter, it makes archery a no-brainer. Now, the only thing that is going to hurt my heart is that logistics is one of my all-time favorite skills possible. And just by saying that, I kind of talked myself into logistics over archery. This is unfair. Unfair. Why couldn't it have been Eagle Eye? Why couldn't that have made my 50-50 choice so much easier? I am going to take logistics only because it's day 2, and I'm going to get a lot of value out of increasing my hero's movement points. That's a tough pill to swallow, but here we go. Instead of the 1,000 gold, I am going to take the instead of taking 1,000 experience, I will take the 1,500 gold there, knowing that I am pretty low. I am going to take this free ore mine. And as you can see, again, I am completely fenced in, with one exception. This pack of battle dwarves may prove invaluable, remembering again that they will join me instead of trying to fight me. The dwarves recognize me and gladly join my forces. Now, shooter, 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 non-shooter. There's a lot of shooters, and my army is not particularly well equipped to deal with shooters at this moment. I do have the rocks, but I've also got some very slow units in the dwarves. I think what I'm going to do, knowing that both my heroes can travel together, both my heroes will go together. My slowest unit, the dwarves, will go to Kalindra, so that way I can split my stack of rocks and do better against the shooters. My ultimate goal is the Ivory Tower. I'm going to have to pick up the well at some point, so I will do that now. But my next few purchases will probably be the Foundry and the Mage Guild, and then hopefully the Ivory Tower before the end of the week. So let's do what I just talked about. We will use Kalindra's spell points to make this split happen. And while I'm here, let me split my rocks into 2 stacks. Sister Eliza, probably I'm just going to clear out both of these units, so that way Kalindra, if she finds a dead end down one of them, she can go down the other at her discretion. So pack of orcs first. Let's take this fight. One halfling. I think that I'm not going to do any better than the computer did with that. I'll accept those results. Let's do the same thing with the centaurs. I think I might be able to do a little bit better than that, noting that wizards are kind of weak to centaurs because all of their units at this point are mostly average speed or can travel 4 hexes. So like the rocks, they're going to go at the very end of all this fighting. They're not going to get ahead. I probably should have actually put my rocks at the very top of my army and had the halflings at the very bottom. Strategically, that should have been a no-brainer, and I fumbled the ball. Pity. Even the dwarves are going to go before the rocks. Pity. We'll have this first rock go across the battlefield here, and the second will go across here. Okay. And of course we are jamming up the shooters as much as possible, but we are right on top of these centaurs. We're going to clean them up. Worth noting, centaurs are actually very, very hardy units. Most creatures, for example, goblins, have 3 hit points. My halflings had 3 hit points. They have 5, especially for a shooter. That is pretty good. A level 1 shooter has 5 hit points. The defense is non-existent, but you've got some base hit points. You can do a lot with that. And we're just going to roll right through this one. We did actually do better than the computer did, so that was worth our time. You may be looking at this saying, FixFox, there's a lot of free resources, particularly gold. Why don't you go north? That is a decision that I should strongly consider. I'm wondering almost if it would be best. I'll tell you what, if I had a barbarian hero in my town right here, I would purchase them and send them up now, even at the cost of draining my coffers. What's the word I'm looking for? The place where there's money and stuff. The treasury. Even though it would drain my treasury. Here's the thing. If I hadn't have taken the time to search for that word, it would have bothered me for the rest of the night. So I appreciate your patience. Thank you. But maybe at the new week, we'll get the opportunity to send a barbarian up that way. Let's wait and find out. Again, though, I'm going to take the gold instead of the experience points. The experience is good early, but I am going to take the gold. This is a terrific artifact. We just found that in the last scenario. It'll increase movement points over land and in the water. I don't know if there's much water on this map. Here's some more battle dwarves. They recognize my forces, and here they are. Desert tent. I could potentially recruit nomads. I don't plan on it, but they are available. Remember, we said we are going to need the foundry and the mage guild. Doesn't particularly matter which one we get first, I don't believe. We'll have enough resources to get both without issue. We're probably not going to have enough resources to get the ivory tower unless we can find mercury or gems. So if you see some mercury or gems on this map here, you let me know, because believe you and me, it's needed at this time. A message from Roland. We cannot hope to defeat Archibald without the crown. I'm counting on you. Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll do my best. Yes, sir. Group of tattered tents billowing in the sandy wind beckons you. Do you wish to have any nomads join you during your travels? They are a good unit. 200 gold to recruit, and you can get a whole lot of them at one go. I like that it said desert blowing in the wind. We're clearly on dirt, but my immersion is not ruined, nor is my day. There is a mercury, an alchemist lab over there. Perhaps, again, it's undefended. That crystal mine was undefended. Here's my sawmill. I'm going to actually go pick that up before I consider this fight. Should I consider this fight? Preemptively, I'm going to split my rocks. A pack of war trolls. And I have 3 rocks. No chance. Absolutely no chance. I don't have the backbone to be able to take on a whole group of war trolls right now. I'll take this gold that's right by them. I'll make sure I get my sawmill. And then we'll carry on from there. I will pick up the Mage Guild. And then we will see how the rest of this week goes for purchases within my hometown. Kalindra is going to get the Alchemist Lab for me. That's fantastic. And now for the first time, we are going to explain a tab that is ubiquitously on my buttons here, but we've not really talked about. This here is an obelisk. Let's click on it and we'll go from there. You come upon an obelisk made from a type of stone you have never seen before. Staring at it intensely, the smooth surface suddenly changes to an inscription. The inscription is a piece of a lost ancient map. Quickly, you copy down the piece and the inscription vanishes as abruptly as it appeared. Okay. Now, here in this section here with the little flag, we have a couple of options. We could always have viewed this world map, and it just shows us what we already know. It's not like a spell that will allow us to see things in the fog of war. We also have info where we can see the campaign information that led us here. Sometimes that can be useful so we can remember our objectives. We then have a puzzle map, which we just added to with that obelisk. And there's many, many, many puzzle pieces here. We visited one obelisk and all of a sudden we have this weird puzzle filled in. What's that? We'll see. And then we have this option. This is the option to dig. Dig for the ultimate artifact. Digging requires one full day of movement points in order to go into the earth and try and find the ultimate artifact. In this scenario, the crown that we are looking for is the ultimate artifact. How do we know where to dig? This is a very large map. It's going to take us quite a lot of time. By visiting obelisks and pulling more of these puzzle pieces together, we can then match up the features that we see on this map with what we see on our adventure map. And there should be an X somewhere that marks the spot. And once you dig there, you will pull up the ultimate artifact. And for us in this scenario, that will mean winning the game. In a normal scenario, you can dig for the ultimate artifact if there's obelisks on that scenario. And it may not end the game, but it will give you an incredibly powerful artifact that will often turn the tide in your favor in a dramatic way. So if you see obelisks on your map, it's a good thing to visit as often as possible. In fact, we see another one not too far away. This is the goal. Let's pick up as many obelisks as we can. We don't have to have the entire picture, but we have to have enough that we can figure out where to dig up the crown, and win the scenario. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Now, I am going to... Maybe I'm being very, very cautious here by saying, lots of mutant zombies. How many mutant zombies could that be? It's probably somewhere between a stack size of, 7 to 12 tops? Let's find out. I think I can beat this. Let's find out. I just want to point out that, that you should not always follow me into battle. Let's fight this personally. Now, in tough fights like this, where the auto combat says that we're going to get absolutely demolished, a couple things. Number one, let's let the walkers walk very slowly across the map. We see we have some land features here that is impassable terrain. Perhaps we can bait the enemy into splitting up their army, and so we only have to fight a few enemies at a time. The best way to potentially make them split up is to figure out what unit they want to focus on my team, and then have them all kind of go for that. And say that we had that unit up here. Say that they were all trying to kill these rocks first and foremost. They would walk across, they'll walk across, they'll walk across, and maybe instead of going straight up, maybe this bottom stack of mutant dwarves will go low on the pass, and then all my units can swarm that stack, take minimal damage, and put them out of their misery, and then we can try and do the same thing again. So remember, the AI thinks that I'm going to lose a lot of troops. I think I can do better. Let's see how this goes. So they're going for either the boars or the rocks, I believe. I'm going to skip the rocks turn here. I don't need to worry about the enemy getting good morale and, you know, going halfway across the map and then all of a sudden being right in front of my face, because these are undead. Undead are not affected by morale. They have neutral morale. It can't be good, it can't be bad. And it's worth noting that because this feature is only 2 tiles wide, we now have a natural split anyway. These mutant zombies are not going to path up here. They're going to path down low because they can't get through this choke point. So how am I going to want to deal with this? I imagine that it'll be best to have dwarves and boars up here, and then I can have rocks that will attack on either side of the zombies. It's not going to be ideal in the sense that I'm not going to be able to deal just with 1 stack at a time, but I'll do the best I can. Sister Eliza has 5 spell power. If I start blessing my troops now, it'll stick around for a couple of turns. Interesting. They looked like they were going for this bottom stack. And I think I'm going to skip so that way nobody gets drug up top, at least no one else that doesn't have to be drug up top. So beginning of a new turn, they are going to go 4 hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4. These boars are going to take a hit. It's really inescapable at this point. The rocks are crowding, and I'm hoping that, well, I made a mistake because the dwarves are not going to be in a position where they can really do a whole lot of damage this round. So then I'm left with the choice. Do I sacrifice some boars just so my big stack can get the most damage off? I think so. I'm going to skip their turn. I'm going to make sure that these rocks get out of the way. Will 7 zombies do 40 hit points worth of damage? I don't think so. So I'm going to just commit to this strategy I've got so far. They in fact did 29 damage. And let's just start taking out stacks as quickly as possible. Okay, that's a little concerning, of course, because I wanted to have as few troops being fought as once. I wonder if I move these rocks down, if the mutant zombies will instead go this way instead of trying to go back up and around. They will. And so now I've got to bless. I'm going to bless these rocks so that we can potentially do some damage here. There wasn't a lot of damage. As long as I can get this stack of rocks out and try and save them, I'll be okay. Psych. Okay. Let's bless this stack of rocks. I say stack, but there's only 1 in there. There's 16 hit points left in this rock, but we've already got the retaliation out of the mutant zombies for this turn. And in fact, the battle dwarves are probably my best defensive unit as far as efficiency goes. I'm going to leave them to deal with these 2 stacks of mutant zombies, and I'm going to make sure that I don't lose any other rocks. If I can keep the rocks, I'll be happy. I'll attack the biggest stack. That's 1 stack down. Oh no. 13 hit points there, 29 hit points there, and these undead are going to go next. Let's just fight them down. The best defense is a good offense. 9 hit points. Fly away, my friends, fly away. 10 hit points, 1 hit point left. No, the only consideration is 1, 2, 3, 4. The dwarves can hit this stack, but they can't hit this stack. So we will attack that stack instead. I think that they didn't move far enough. And so with some spells and with some clever positioning, instead of losing, I think, all of our boars and all of our rocks, and plus 2 battle dwarves, we lost 1 rock and 2 boars. And again, what spell did we use? We used Bless, but that was pretty much it. So was that the power of the Bless that came in clutch there? Was it the power of the positioning? You decide, but again, there's a lot we can do on this map to eke out some wins and keep ourselves from absolute attrition. Knowing that we're not going to be able to get the ivory tower, I'm still going to hold out hope that perhaps next turn I can find some precious resources, and so I will get the orchard now and move on. This alchemist lab will start to generate ore or mercury for me next turn, but there's none of it right now. This oracle, I think, is going to be very important for me. This is going to allow me to see everything on as far as my one enemy and help give me an idea of what I'm up against. So we are tied on the number of towns. We are tied on the number of castles. I have no towns, which is the non-upgraded base of operations, I suppose. And we're tied on castles. So I know that my enemy, red, they have one castle and they have no towns. As far as heroes go, I have 2 heroes. They've got 3 or more. They got plenty of gold in the treasury. I only have 6,000. And let's see, they beat me in every single resource. They beat me in every single artifact. They beat me in total army strength. I am absolutely getting floored this game by the numbers. That's worthwhile. If I see this enemy patrolling the adventure map, I'll need to be very careful because it looks like this is his toughest unit. So good to know, and let's move on. I will pick up the temple. That's going to be +2 morale. A visit and a prayer at the temple raises the morale of my troops. Let's pick up this obelisk. This is our prime directive to get these obelisks as quickly as possible. That is gigantic. So the first obelisk we visited only gave us 1 puzzle piece. I guess that we're going to get 1 puzzle piece, then 2. Probably next obelisk we get will be another 1, and then another 2 from here on out. But look. What's that? What is it? That's a sawmill. So if we find a sawmill, then we have a good chance of figuring out where we got to go to dig for this artifact. Now, we don't need to get the entire puzzle completely filled in. If we can, through some sheer deduction, my dear Watson, figure out whereabouts the artifact is, we can just do some serious guessing. It's a little bit of a cheesy strategy, but sometimes you've just got to win. So there's no bonus points for doing things 100% the right way. This is not a 100% playthrough. So let's kind of show you what that looks like potentially. We have our adventure map. I'm going to click this here. And generally what I try and do is I try and line up the sawmill with the corresponding area it is on the map. So that way I can see if there's any corresponding points. So sawmill in the bottom, and then is there like a little tree thing here on the right hand side? There is not. So this sawmill is not the sawmill that is shown in the picture, and I'm not going to have to worry about digging around my hometown. Would have been nice, would have been really, really nice, but no mas, no bueno. The dwarves recognize their allies and gladly join your forces. Great pickup. And we need to go get this obelisk anyway. And that is the end of this turn. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the ivory tower first turn. Is there anything else I must have before the end of the new week? I've got all the dwellings I can possibly get. I will pick up the marketplace because I'd rather have it now than forget it later. And that will conclude week 1. We're into the week of the badger. All dwellings increase in population. We're going to pick up this obelisk. Oh. This terrain, is that volcanic? Is that swamp? It's a little difficult for me to say. True veterans of the game will be able to instantly recognize. I will do the very best I can, but wherever we see some kind of light tile set that is juxtaposed with a dark tile set, that is probably going to be a good place to start digging. Maybe it's dirt. It could just be dirt. We also ran across this town. This is a wizarding town. This could be our second town. I'm not going to sprint to get there. I'm going to take my time, make sure I can get everything else I need. The worst thing in the world would be if all of a sudden I'm going to take the 1500 experience. The worst thing in the world, and I'm going to take the basic archery that I wanted to take earlier. I'm glad I got the second chance at it. I will take basic pathfinding because I may want to go through the snow. The worst thing would be all of a sudden the scenario just says, you've lost. And that would mean that the enemy AI just dug and got the ultimate artifact before I could even sniff it. I don't know. I don't think that the AI needs to have the entire map, but they certainly are not omniscient in the fact that they're not just going to walk right through it and then dig and then just win the game out from under me. So I'm not going to purchase any other buildings at this time. I will purchase the tavern, just in case this town does get attacked soon. It's important to have as many buildings as possible so the ballista, the basic defenses of the castle, will do additional damage and potentially turn the fight. I don't know what kind of creatures are in here. It's not worth it to me to risk it just with some dwarves and no spells. Maybe if I had some spells, I'd feel a little risky. I don't feel a little risky at all. This is now a dead end. We have only access into the snow. I guess I should have checked on turn 1 if I had a barbarian who had some pathfinding. But my main hero, Sister Eliza, has the pathfinding now. Although I just got a feeling that this is probably going to be snow up into here, and therefore I'm not necessarily going to want to be there just in case I find enough obelisks to help me figure out where the ultimate artifact is. I'll probably want to consolidate and keep most of my power towards the front lines. So I do have plenty of gold though, so I am going to pick up a new hero. Should I get a new sorceress or should I get a new knight? Just because of the units, actually, I'm going to pick up the sorceress. 2 very slow units here, and well, they're both about equal. It doesn't really matter. I'd rather have some sorceress units as my defenders, especially since I'm going to give Vitania 1 boar, and her and that boar are going to be the best friends ever. So let's send her into the cold, frozen north. Other than that, do I keep spending gold? I'll spend a little bit. I do have, if we check here, I do have 2 wood coming in per day. I do have 2 mercury, 2 ore, and 1 crystal, meaning I'm missing out on 1 sulfur mine and 1 gem mine. I do have 1 gem mine right here. And then as far as sulfur goes, perhaps I'll find something up here. Until then, though, let's continue and send you home so we can load up and pick up this excellent artifact. Okay. There's so much gold up here, but now it looks like gold's not the concern. It looks like I'll have plenty of that. I'll just need some more resources to help get me unstuck. The lean-to is going to produce 4 gems. It's a one-time visit on the adventure map. After you do so, it will not be available to be clicked on by anybody. It's just like an abandoned, it's like Fallout. It's an abandoned structure, and you find some goodies in there. With 40 dwarves, I can take out lots of mummies. I'll just have to be careful with my troops. I will, for that reason, separate the dwarves and carry on. Mummies are a very tough unit, I'll tell you right now, and I knew that going into it, and they have the Royal Mummy upgrade as part of the stacks. I'm not as concerned. I still think I can do better, especially knowing that the Royal Mummies will get down the field a little bit faster. So I'm going to assume that everyone's going to converge in the very middle of this map, and much like the previous map, we have some impassable terrain right here. This is not nearly so good of a choke point, but perhaps these top mummies will have to go around the stump instead of going kind of through it. So let's start using our Bless, the only spell we have. Let's start attacking these royal mummies. These mummies are going to be able to go that far, so if I attack straight on, I won't have any issues. Mummies have the ability, as you can see there, to curse. So one of my best units as far as having a chance to do additional damage, between 4 to 8 damage. Yeah, this rock is now going to do exactly 4 damage. He's got exactly 20 hit points left. Perhaps that was careless of me. I think it was careless. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go as far as I can. Note that I can always bless a unit that has been cursed, and that will help get rid of the curse. Because curse and bless are the antithesis of each other, you can't have one and have the other. You gotta pick one. Oh, that's very unfortunate. That was a good move. Well, I guess I boxed myself out. But all the same, by moving down, then the royal mummies are probably going to open up this rock to get taken out by these mummies. If I can, I will save the rock. I'll do everything I can to save that rock. Interesting. That's a good preparatory step. Let's get out of here. And let's start taking out some mummies. Okay. I'm gonna keep the rocks in reserve as much as possible. The boars will pretty much for sure be going down. I might as well. I think that the next stack of dwarves to attack these mummies will take out the rest of the stack, or at least most of the stack. And I don't necessarily want to give these mummies a chance to retaliate and take out these last 3 boars, because these 3 boars can be used really either to block on the battlefield, or they can be used to attack a unit so that the retaliation doesn't come back. I'm going to actually retreat these boars. That was a great idea. Good job, Fix Fox. Nice work. Everybody watches me for my strategic chops. Okay, these mummies are not going to get an attack next turn, but these ones certainly will. They're close enough. So now notice that I had the dwarves blessed. Now they are cursed. I'm going to have to re-bless them. I guess I'll wait until I see which ones come first. I'm going to have the boars end those mummies. And there's this small stack of 2 mummies. Because I'm going to bless this stack of dwarves here, I'm going to take out the biggest stack. Having the initiative, taking the first hit, with good luck, we are absolutely ecstatic with the developments that just took place. I can't reach those mummies. I can't reach those mummies. Makes my decision pretty easy. These rocks have 40 HP. I don't even think that these mummies could kill them in one shot. Okay. And then let's work on this biggest stack. These mummies, they have a 20% chance to curse. Where was that 20% chance whenever the genies were on our team and against the enemy? We haven't gotten genie luck one time. One time. And we had 2 separate scenarios where we had 5 genies. So I just want to point out that, that the game hates me, but I love the game. I don't hate the game. I don't hate the game. It's a good game, even when there's bad luck. So that was enough actually to pick up the ivory tower. That is gigantic. And I never would have wanted to trade for that many resources. Even if it was day 7, it would have just been such a huge investment. And there's so much more to build in this town. There's so much more to build. One thing I haven't checked yet is what spells are in this mage guild. Haste is going to be great, especially for, some units that are fast, but not that fast. Immediately rocks come to mind, even though they fly and they cover the entire distance of the battlefield. Let's carry on. Remember, there's like 20 or more nomads in this desert tent. They're good units. And I've got lots of extra gold coming my way. Let me pick up some of this extra gold here. We're not going to go that way, so we might as well collect this gold first. And then shoot back up top. I don't think that I'm anywhere near getting 20 gems, even though my gem mine is right there. I guess I should have been on that much sooner, and perhaps I could have gotten my giants quicker. In hindsight, that's a decision I wish I could have gotten back a little bit. But because I have this much gold, because I'm going to be generating gold, and because there's gold that can be picked up, I am going to pick up this whole stack of nomads. It's 4,600 gold. But right now, I just need troops. I just need troops. And I still have money in the treasury. See, because I found the word for treasury earlier, then I don't need to worry about finding it again later. It's all coming together. Don't worry about it. We only have one rock for these lots of halflings, and one boar for that matter. And again, no offensive spells, but they are in my way. It's going to take a minute for Kalindra to get to me anyway. I will go the long way, and either she will come down south or she'll go to the town first and then come back. But discretion is the better part of valor. And I do think that because my main hero is magic based with 8 spell power and 5 knowledge, I think that even though I am totally saving for this cloud castle, it's best for me to get as many decent spells as I possibly can right now. These are excellent. By the way, view artifacts causes all artifacts across the land to become visible. Ooh. It does not work for the ultimate artifact, before you ask. It can't work. Does view artifacts? No, it can't possibly. Or could it? I don't know. I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know. One other thing we could potentially do is click here. So the tavern, it says a generous tip for the barkeep yields the following rumor: the dark side is stronger. Okay, Obi-Wan. Sometimes the tavern will give you very, very helpful tips. For example, it will say things like the ultimate artifact can be found in the driven snow. It can be found on the grassy plain. That helps you figure out, okay, where exactly am I trying to dig for the ultimate artifact? Last scenario we had, I mentioned when I clicked on a tavern, it said the ultimate artifact may be found in the north. And I did a little bit of digging. I had to find out if there was an ultimate artifact on that map, despite there being no obelisks, and the answer is no. I did some weird tricky stuff by going into the maps, editing them so that way they could appear in the map editor, and then I looked at scenario 6 Defender, and I did discover that no, there is no ultimate artifact that is queued in for that map. So we had a random tavern tip that was merely a rumor, the rumor being that it could be found in the north. Yeah, it was just a rumor, and it's a very unreliable source, and barkeep, you should be embarrassed. Let's go on to day 5. That's interesting. Now, I haven't collected this town yet. That is a warlock hero, and remember, the primary hero for the red faction was a warlock class of hero. It's possible that that's going to be my guy that I need to really look out for. If it is, oh boy. I'll pick up the +2 morale on my way back, since it looks like it'll take me 2 turns to get to these war trolls anyway. This is an example, by the way, the temple with the +2 morale. This is an example of a tourist attraction that you can do multiple times on the same turn. It gives you the +2 morale until you fight a battle. And so if you go to the temple, fight a battle, and then go back to the temple on the same day, you can visit it multiple times to get the bonus stats. If you try to visit the temple twice without having done combat, it will tell you, hey bro, you already prayed once. Praying again is probably not going to help to raise your morale. Finding some good treasure up here. I regret that decision to get nomads. Not at all. Let's get, though, the Thieves Guild, just to confirm what I already believe, which is, oh, interesting. So before, I think it was Wraithmont was the warlock hero that was Red's strongest hero. Now it is, the word that's coming to my mind is Glorfindel, but that I think is the sword that Gandalf has that he picks up in The Hobbit and then carries with him for the rest of forever, pretty much. Point of interest, did Glorfindel or did Gandalf's sword, did he lose it when he fought the Balrog in the Mines of Moria? Possibly. I mean, he got a sweet horse afterwards, so how bad could it be? Somebody do some lore checking for me. Let me know. He is... Look how close. I'm not going to fight him anyway, but that is Wraithmont. He was the toughest hero that they had. Now he's still probably very tough. I'm thinking that I don't want to get this temple now because I don't want to go this far over here and then have to work my way back over here because he might have enough movement points to catch me. I'm going to make Kalindra come up the next couple of steps. Now note, as I move the nomads, the poor morale switches from Kalindra over to Sister Eliza. Sister Eliza is not going to have leadership in this game. That's going to be very, very rough to deal with. But this is going to be probably the first time that we see what bad morale can do in this fight. I hope it doesn't cost us, but there's no way I can negate this until I find maybe, say, an artifact that will increase my morale by 1. And I need all of these troops to make this fight work. The closest thing I could consider that might be better would be to split the nomads into 4 stacks and just keep 1 power stack of the battle dwarves. The only spell I have is Bless. I'm just worried that these nomads will get focused down if I do it that way. But then I have normal morale. Nomads are very fast. The 1 rock is going to fly across the field and die immediately. The boars are very fast, but they're probably going to die almost immediately. I was giving you a hypothetical when I made this split, and then I talked myself into it. And I'm pretty happy for it. I do want to fight this fight. I have the backbone of 60 battle dwarves. I don't think I'm going to lose this fight, but I might lose a lot of troops. Is it worth, what was it, 4,600 gold? It was 4,600 gold to recruit all of these nomads. Is it potentially worth it to lose, say, 2,300 gold worth of units? Let's find out. Whoa. This is indicating that I'm losing 4,300 gold worth of troops. But it's a good artifact. Yeah, that's a cope. That is a cope. Okay. There is no sense in waiting over here. We might as well charge across the field as fast as we can. And just kind of hope for the best. Sometimes, as you charge across the battlefield, you can get good morale, and then a stack of nomads can get all the way over and cause some real heartache for the shooters. As it is, I am impressed with how many nomads we still have. Note, though, that trolls are still very, very tough, and trolls have hit point regeneration. If you do 39 damage on a war troll, it will be at 40 hit points by the start of the next round of combat. So I think we got to be pretty concerned about making sure that we focus down single stacks of war trolls. We do want to make sure that the war trolls are doing half damage as much as possible, but that's not the primary concern. The primary concern is don't lose the war of attrition by letting war trolls walk away with 1 hit point as you try and take them down. So I am going to, in this case, consider that my dwarves are going to be up here first. They're going to be able to take out these 3 and these 3 war trolls. I'm going to crowd around this pack of war trolls and try and take it down first and foremost. I am going to bless this other stack of nomads. Oof. And so these 4 nomads better do 8 points of damage. They do. But note that these 26 hit points left are now back up to 40. So at this point, I'm going to bless the dwarves instead of bless one of my stacks of nomads. Will we stick ourselves on this 1 war troll? I think I'm actually going to skip this nomad so that he can potentially survive this hit from these war trolls. It sounds silly, but I think, well, the problem is that this stack of nomads is committed to this attack. Why? There's terrain here. They're a 2 hex unit, and I can't get around them. I can't get around my own troops. I'm tripping over myself again. I did that very, very bad in the last scenario I did with the 2 hex units, the Medusas. Oh well. This is probably the best I can do. Just take out this 1 stack there, and then I will send these nomads it doesn't matter. I don't think that these nomads can do... They did 22 damage last round, so it doesn't matter if they attack the war trolls or not. In fact, if they attack the war trolls, they're just going to take retaliation damage and not actually kill one war troll. So let's be smart with what we got. Let's take out the stack that's on top. Let's see if we can save a nomad. If we can save any nomads, I'll be feeling fine. And then I think that between 5 stacks of nomads, that I can potentially take out this bottom set of war trolls. At least one off the top of the stack. I can. And the next turn, these dwarves are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and take out this stack. And then we're going to make sure that we get this stack of nomads out of the way so that the... I was going to say so the dwarves could finish it off. We did do much better that fight than before. This time we lost no dwarves and we saved at least, it looks like at least 8 more nomads than we had lost when the computer fought the fight. Probably because the computer was not focusing down the units and the trolls were getting some solid regen. Let's take the archery and let's pick up our prize. An old man has given me a compass. I'm so happy. Kalindra, I want to stay far, far away from him. Perhaps it would behoove me to even go this way so that if we kill the skeletons on our way out, Kalindra has another way of getting into whatever untapped resources are right there. We'll take the gold. I have no desire to have Vitania get any experience whatsoever. She picked up ballistics. Mostly I was doing that so that I could know what skill was in there. Again, the gold, that would have been great for some other hero to get though. But again, we're on the Cloud Castle is our next purchase. We're just so far away on the gems. There's this little stack of gems and perhaps some more, but for now, I don't think that there's any other buildings I really want to get. Knowing that the enemy is really in my comfort zone, in my bubble, I am going to pick up the moat. It's a small investment. It's only gold, and it can be very important later. I think I actually had to look at that movement, by the way. Look how much further my troops did than hers. A max of 1820 movement versus 1k. Yeah, that's a good artifact. But I think I have this other alchemist lab, so losing that one is not the worst thing to ever happen to me. I'm going to stay here overnight so I can get my spell points regenerated. I go from 7 up to 60. That will be awesome. I'm going to make sure I leave these dwarves. I'm going to keep this stack of battle dwarves. I'm not going to take the pixies. I'm actually going to leave the nomads here. They did their job as far as I'm concerned, and they're not going to be worth the negative morale of having 3 different types of alignment troops in my army. So let's wait overnight. It's day 7 anyway, so that would have been just the best decision we could make. He's playing it cool. He's pretending. He's like, no, I'm not going to come get you. Why would I come and get you? And then he gets me. I've still not found sulfur yet. I don't have a way to trade for sulfur right now off of one marketplace. That would be incredibly expensive just in gold. I've never showed you the conversion rate of gold to resources. It's 5,000 right now with only one marketplace per sulfur. Yikes. Let's just pick up the troops we can get. And I know that the Magi are going to be expensive to purchase or to upgrade later, but I'm going to do it. I will leave the iron golems here just so that way I'll have some defenders. Oh, that was sweet. Did you see that? Generally, when there's... Hold on, I've got to do this. Okay. It used to be in Heroes 2, the original before you have the FHeroes edition, that if this section was full of troops, you would have to... It was a little pop-up bar would show up and say, hey, you got to move your troops down, or like the garrison is full, and so you must move your troops out to make room. Otherwise, you can't purchase them. But the garrison was full, and it just shot the halflings down for me. I'm gonna replicate that again. Boom. Oh, I love the F Heroes team so much. You guys are so great. Guys, gals, whatever you are. Yeah, so, and again, I will leave the iron golems. Real quick while I'm thinking about it. So for all the content that's related to F Heroes, I don't think I've necessarily said a lot of bad things, but I did mention my honest feelings in the last scenario, the last video I did about the AI. There was some intricacies, something tricky with the AI and how it interacted with scenarios where our loss condition was if we lose our main town, we just lose, and it caused the heroes to make a beeline for that town. I hope I hope it didn't come off as me trashing the AI or anything that the F Heroes team has done. I was very cognizant of that as I was watching through the video the second time, listening through my video the second time. And I want to make sure that everybody who hears this understands that I don't really have anything critical to say about F Heroes. It's fantastic. This is vastly improved from Heroes 2 Gold Edition. So any nitpicks I do are merely nitpicks. And tell you what, this game is holding up so well under scrutiny anyway that I don't feel bad about nitpicking, because there's so many things that are so good that just saying, hey, maybe here's some things that aren't working quite the way I thought they would. I don't think that that's a negative at all. I think that it can withstand the criticism. It's tough. It can stand on its own two legs. Absolutely. So hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say here. And I appreciate all the work that goes into this. That was just an example of one of the many things I love about this game. Our priority is this gem mine. I will fight these archers. I assume I'm going to lose 6 halflings. And I opened up this access into the snow here. Dwarves. I will pick up these dwarves. That's going to be, how many dwarves now in that stack? 99. That's a good stack. What if we had never picked up the Dwarven Alliance? How much harder would this whole campaign have been? This would have been nearly impossible. This would have been ridiculous. I'm going to keep the dwarves here in this army as a deterrence. If the enemy starts knocking on my door here, then I will have iron golems to recruit, and I will have just the troops here. I don't want to leave the nomads here, so that way I won't have to deal with 3 different alignment troops. I don't want to spend the mercury if I can help it. I have 2 alchemist labs though. For now, I'm just going to get the captain's quarters. And then Kalindra is going to adventure forth with her nomads. I'm sure that they are in for a very rude awakening when they go from sand to snow. Group of orcs with a desire for greater glory wish to join me. I'll pick up 15 absolutely free orcs. By the way, I like the art on the orcs. It's a little cartoony. It's not like, you know, the most repulsive orc creature you could imagine, like you'll find in some other works of fiction. They look like they're just... This is what I imagine orcs would be similar to, say, in Dungeons and Dragons, which makes it a lot more sense when you say, oh, I'm a half orc barbarian. It's like, yeah, you're not the ugliest thing in the world, but people don't really want to spend time around you. This picture of the orcs is closer to what I imagine in that sense. Note that I can lose this town and I won't lose the game. I can, but I don't want to if at all possible. Yikes. Wow. Wow. You can't do this to me. Through a clearing, I observe an ancient artifact. Unfortunately, it's guarded by a nearby titan. Do you want to fight the titan for the artifact? The answer is no. I still may do it, but the answer is no. I have the 99 dwarves, but the titan, one titan is going to, I'm going to lose so many troops just to get this one titan, and it's for a terrible artifact. I think that that's the Statesman's Quill, which makes it so I can retreat at only 10% of the total cost that it usually costs to surrender and then keep your troops with you. But the worst thing is that I can't get through. This artifact is blocking my way into these dwarves and all this other stuff. What a sick joke. I will try to make less noises like that in the future. Even I didn't like that sound. Sorry. I'll get the Mage Guild level 3. I want to win fights now, is really what I want to do. And the Mage Guild level 3 will help me do that. It will really help me do that. I'll pick up the gem mines. And I'm going to show you the Demon Cave. Again, we did that a few scenarios ago. No one's has visited it by now. We'll have an interesting dilemma on our hands. Let me show you if you didn't see that other video. The entrance to the cave is dark and foul. Sulphurous smell issues from the cave's mouth. Will you enter? I will. You find a powerful and grotesque demon in the cave. Today it rasps. You will fight and surely die, but I will give you the choice of deaths. You may fight me or you may fight my servants. Do you prefer to fight my servants? Last time I picked no. And then, unfortunately, the demon got the upper hand on me, and I had to either choose to pay 2,500 gold to keep my hero alive, or to just lose my hero. I chose to just lose my hero, partially for comedic effect, and partially because I'm just, that's just how I wanted to do it. Instead, this time, we are going to hit yes and fight the servants. Oh my goodness. That was the... What? That was the easiest demon cave ever. I have seen earth elementals, 5 stacks of them, like 10 to 15, and I don't know what's different from demon cave to demon cave, and I don't know how you can tell how big the stack of defenders is going to be until you're actually in combat. I almost passed up this demon cave just because I didn't know how big of an issue it would be. I was fully prepared to deal with massive amounts of hit points and attack skill coming my way. I'm glad I don't have to deal with it. I was just kidding. I'm actually going to stay back and let my shooters absolutely rout these elementals. Looks like they are going to focus on my archmages. Generally, most battles will end up with archmages as the primary target for attackers. And I do believe that that's partially because they're the highest level creature on the map most of the time, and also because they are a shooter. So they're highest level creature, they are a shooter, they have incredibly high attack damage and the opportunity to do a lot of extra damage because of their attack skill modifier. For some reason, archmages get focused a lot. Once you get titans, you get a better chance to get titans focused, which because they're so tanky, then you don't have to worry about losing them so often. And we defeat the demon servants and we find 2,500 gold. Anybody that tries to visit this demon cave moving forward is going to be told that a battle took place there. It was terrible and there's nobody left. We have now reached the end of this area for Vitania. I'm not going to be going through a pack of trolls. Looks like there's some good artifacts in here. I'm guessing that this will be a strategic cache that I can pick up. And I think this map is big enough, and I hope that the enemy is not going to pick up so many obelisks that they can just win right from under me. Meaning that it'll probably be worth it to me to really not ignore some opportunities like this, some pockets of tightly condensed resources, artifacts, etc. Okay, he is knocking at my door. I don't think he knows, though. I don't think he knows that I can reach him, and so he's going to be in for a rude awakening. I got some excellent clarification on the way that AI works in the comments from Zents. The original Heroes of Might and Magic 2 basically was omniscient in the sense that they could just see my castles and they would just go straight for him. Heroes of Might and Magic 2, they actually have to, or the FHeroes edition, they do have to clear the fog of war. So he probably just saw this castle. He's probably seeing, oh, it's got just a few defenders, and now he's going to be very surprised when I pop up on him. I think I've got just enough movement to go into the castle and still pull this off. Do I need to go into the castle? My level 3 Mage Guild does give me Mass Bless. That could be incredibly useful. But for this fight, I don't want to risk going into the castle and then not having enough movement points to get back out. I probably would have enough, but it's just not worth the risk. I want to take this guy down so that my other heroes can get this sawmill and this alchemist lab that he has stolen from me. Let's do that now. Yikes. So the enemy has fled, but somehow he is slated to take 6 of my archmages down. He has 7 spell power. That's going to be a lot of damage if he's got a cold ray or a lightning bolt, because he sure doesn't have the troops to do that damage. I'm guessing that these magi are going to eat 2 lightning bolts very, very quickly, and there's no way really to defend it unless I had anti-magic, which might be a good reason for me to get my library soon. Perhaps I will get absolutely lucky. My goal here is to do as much damage as possible so that he retreats quickly. And if he retreats quickly, then perhaps I can save more archmages from getting lightning bolted to death. So the most... Okay, so for my edification, and I apologize real quick. My hands are up here so you can see them. I understand I click very, very quickly from place to place and thing to thing. I'm going to try and do better starting now. My cold ray does 160 points of damage. And they've got 35 times 4, so like, what, 135, 140? That's just going to be 90, 75. So I can cold ray the minotaurs down, and I will. What? Did you see that? That tells me a lot. These minotaurs just ate, let's see, 75 or 70 damage plus 10. That was 80 damage. My cold ray does 160. He's got an artifact, probably the cloak. It's a cloak. It's blue, that will reduce the damage from cold spells by 50%. It's always fun when you all of a sudden say, "Hey, did you plan on doing a lot of damage to me?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I picked up this really neat artifact." Yikes. 1 magi with 5 hit points left. I'll see if I can take out just the 1 centaur. There he goes. And I will finish off the minotaurs. I will not finish off the minotaurs. That fight went about as good as we could have hoped, and we still lost 6 magi. He is happy with those results, I think. I really think he's happy with that. If an enemy gets a huge stack of magi, you are in for a rough time. I will pick up first the obelisk, and then I will pick up the cave for the free centaurs. Nothing to buy at the moment. And Vitania is going to make sure that I reclaim these mines. Now, is it worth it to me to go into this area and maybe get lucky? Or is it worth it to me to send my main hero back to get a for sure town? I think that a for sure town and putting pressure on the enemy in this part of the map is probably better than, again, being in the wrong part of town, far, far away from where the action is. No buildings to buy. Let's just do Vitania first so she can get this ore mine. I'll have her start her journey south. Do I need to pick up any units here? I don't think so. I know that I could pick up these boars in this rock, but I've got all my spell points. I don't need to do much there. So let's go south. I can absolutely fight this fight. Other heroes will pick up things like the sawmill. Right now, it's not as important to get +2 wood for 1 turn. But I am going to send Kalindra far west. Uh-oh. See that? I'm not sure who that hero is, and I'm hesitant to go and find out. I don't think I can get in, see who it is, and then get out. So already we have one of my favorite ways of playing Heroes of Might and Magic, which is the tension game. I've got lots of enemies. I'm trying to make sure I don't overstep and lose initiative. I'm trying to make sure I don't get backdoored. And I make the wrong decision occasionally. Lots of people do. And that's where the joy is. This enemy fled. And I wish that they wouldn't flee, just so that way I could ensure that there were no missing artifacts after all is said and done. Knowing that I'm not going to try and combat this, I will instead see if I can fight these halflings. With this army, halflings are fairly easy. I'm going to split my stacks very thinly, and noting that I do have poor morale. We haven't seen poor morale in action yet, but let's fight this fight just to see about it, because it'll probably happen at least once, I'd say. Do I have any offensive spells? I will do the Cold Ray. Crossing the map. And so as you can see, we have a -1 morale, and it happened 1 out of 5 stacks in 3 turns. So 1 out of every 15. It can be higher, it can be lower, but -1 morale, not great, but not terrible. You can get through without too much of a headache. But once you get into 2 and 3, I really think it shoots up very quickly, the percentage chance. I think it's multiplicative. It's not exponential, but it's multiplicative as far as how quickly you have to worry. I'm going to pick up this town, even though this is, last I knew, their strongest hero. Yep, there he is. There he is. Falagar. I'm going to pick up this town because I can't get back in time to defend this anyway necessarily, so I might as well pick up the town, start thinking about building it up, and then I can go back and retake my original town if that's what it's going to take. I am going to cast Cold Ray. I will take out their shooters. I'm going to try and wait and let the boars come to me, because these 3 rocks aren't going to do much to me, so I'm not worried about losing initiative on that. Unfortunate, but not unexpected. I do have a haste, and so, oh wait. Uh-oh. I miscalculated. The units that'll go first are boars, but my boars went first in this round, and now their boars are going to go first next round. Thankfully, my shooters are covered up, and my halflings are not going to take too much damage. I do lose 1 rock. I'm going to instead kill these rocks with these boars and let my dwarves take the for sure 1 hit, 1 kill on those boars there. I need the 4th level spell ability, so that way if that's the best decision, I don't feel like I can't take it. I am going to replenish my halflings and start heading back. There's a good chance that there's a town or a castle right here, but I don't want to put myself in the position where I'm so far away from this town that there's nothing I can do. At this point, the enemies have pathed through here, up here, and into there. They may not see me coming from this direction because they may not have cleared the fog of war there, but they have now seen pretty much everything, including this town. They know it's there. Let's reclaim as many of these neutral opportunities as possible. I'm glad that I've built the moat. I'm glad I've built some buildings that can help me in a pinch. I am going to do something you don't usually see me do. I'm going to upgrade my foundry. Yeah, you know things are getting crazy when I'm picking up my #1 favorite garrison unit. And so that way, if we do get into a fight here in my castle, I'll have the best garrison troops I possibly can for this fight. There's no way I'm going to look to upgrade this to a castle anytime soon. Right now I'm just having it. It's 250 gold a day. Let's have Vitania. Actually, let's combine forces here. Specifically, let's get the shooters into that group. And so then Vitania will be faster moving forward. Because Falagar went south, he can always come through these archers if he needs to. But I'm going to try to keep Kalindra more active, safely away from him. Is really what I'm going to try to do. And I don't really care if I lose Vitania, so I might use her to just blitz through this fog of war, try to clear as much of that out as possible so I can make good decisions in the future moving forward. Okay. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. +5 giant growth. If I focused in on getting giants, things would be very, very different right now. Taking estates. Gold is nifty. Greed is good. I'm not going to be able to get through this anytime soon. I do like this design to this map where there's lots of choke points where you can't just send out random units. You have to deal with what you got going on. Because Falagar has gone this way, I am going to take a detour, and this may seriously cost me. I understand that. It may cost me time that is necessary to find the obelisks that will then help me actually win my game. This may be deviating from my prime directive a little bit, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Because I think that the long-term cost will surely be worth it, and it's possible that it can be the difference between a win and a loss in some other ways. Let's... Oh, geez. I did not do a whole lot of damage to those wolves, did I? Let's take out this stack that's looking a little scary. Oh, boy. Let's get these rocks out of here. These rocks still have full HP. And we'll take luck where we can get it. But I do still have the troops, certainly, once I readjust them here to... I'll do it the easy way. To take out some war trolls, I believe. And again, the backbone of 100 battle dwarves, it feels pretty good. No buildings to purchase here. No indication that I need to defend quickly. Perhaps Vitania can enlighten me a little bit. I'm actually going to send her down. I'm really going to have her blitz. I'm going to have her blitz in. And I know that this should be cleared path to somewhere, to some castle, because that's where one enemy hero came through. So that is more than just an educated guess. I'm going to lose a lot here. I'm going to do my very best, though. These are the non-upgraded version of trolls. They still have the hit point regeneration, but not as scary. If I do haste the boars, they're going to be able to reach across the battlefield in one go, but I don't think it's particularly useful in this instance. The dwarves I would love to haste now so they can get across the field immediately, but I think that rocks can acquit themselves quite nicely against these trolls once they get the chance. I suppose it will go, the dwarves will go, actually, here's the thing. It'll go boars, dwarves, and then troll, rock, troll, rock, troll, 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 halfling. If I bump up the battle dwarf speed, which I really want to do anyway, then it's going to go boars, dwarves, rock, troll. And so then my rocks can get across the field much quicker. And this will actually work out logistically for me so much better. What? Well, color me surprised. I did not see that coming. Just when you think you know everything about the game, maybe not everything, but enough to really go off of, you find something interesting like that. Okie day. Let's see. This stack has 5 left. Let's kill that stack again because these are all going to regenerate if I don't take them out. Oh, they already did. They already did. Let's kill the biggest stack. Let's have the boars help these rocks focus this group. I'm just going to take out these trolls for sure. Let's focus these trolls some more. Hopefully the halflings can do enough damage to really end them. Oh, I probably should have used a cold ray. That's my bad. I'll take out a whole stack, and I'm hoping I can do 10 points of damage. 0 attack. So attack skill 10, attack skill, sorry, defense skill 5, attack skill 2. These halflings are going to do probably like 6, no, not 6 damage, probably 5 damage. I don't get it. 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 I'll take it, but I don't get it. I'm actually, later tonight, I'm going to do the math on that and figure out how I messed that up. I was eyeballing it, sure, but I mean, you really wanted to get it right. Artifact. Through a clearing, I observe an ancient artifact. It is guarded by a nearby paladin. I'm not even going to fight that fight. We know exactly how that fight's going to go. Let's pick up the knowledge. Let's pick up the gold. And let's pick up this obelisk. That's what I was really hoping for, would be that obelisk and the opportunity to get a really nice artifact at the graveyard. Still nothing to buy. Still nothing to purchase. We did see something over here. Let's continue our quest. That's very nice to be able to get an obelisk deep into enemy territory. I need to find this. I have enough information here to start thinking to myself, look, the X is probably in the middle. This might be the ruins where you recruit the Medusa. Tell you what, we have view artifacts. I've never wanted the level 1 spell view mines any more than I have right now. Because if I could view the mines, I could find all of the sawmills on the map, and I could use that to kind of guide my search. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We're fighting this battle ourselves. What in tarnation? This is always fun because we're fighting the mutant zombies in the graveyard. These are kind of battle map doodads that you otherwise wouldn't see on a normal field of combat. But that looks like a tombstone. That looks like something that's just got kicked over. We're going to use our spell points so much, and we're going to start from the top going down to the bottom, mostly so we can make sure that the halflings stay as alive as possible. It's only 7 halflings. I get it. 2, 3, 4. I get it. It's only 7 halflings, but I waste not, want not. Okay, there's not a lot I can do as far as utilizing terrain against these guys. Maybe the best thing would be to, I'm going to continue to cold ray them because that's going to be a huge stack of the mutant zombies every time. Although, so attack skill of 6, defense skill of 2, that's going to be 40 bonus damage right now, and if I cast the Bloodlust on the Battle Dwarves, they're going to do an additional 30% damage, because Bloodlust will increase their attack skill by, I believe, 3. Will it be enough, though? What I really wish is I had like a stone skin for these dwarves right now. Instead, I'm just going to take the flat damage, and then just wait so these guys can get closer. Those cheeky sons of guns. With my stack of 2 rocks, I will begin melee combat. And I don't anticipate that these halflings are going to survive this fight, and that's fine. Let's just have them start taking hits and causing mayhem. I am going to bless the dwarves. If I can take out as much of one stack as possible, that would be the best. I don't like attacking any of these stacks with these boars because they're going to take so much retaliation damage, but there's no sense in saving them. If I had to choose between saving boars and rocks, I'm always going to choose saving rocks. So we'll consider what to do with the rocks later, but for now, let's have them chill. 1 rock, 28 HP, 3 rocks, 20 HP on the top stack. And these mutant zombies are going to go next. Probably going to get a good shot off on these rocks. I'm going to trust that my dwarves will take a hit and keep on going. And I'm going to get my rocks as far out of the fight as I can. These mutant zombies might come back my way, and if they do, they will split their army and they will split their focus. I'll be fine with that too. 6 HP, 10 HP. Let's take out this stack with 6 HP. I will, because my blessed dwarves just took out one whole stack of zombies, I'm going to assume that I can continue to rely on them to do that. Let's try and kill single stacks as much as possible. Let's take out this biggest stack if at all possible. And skip the rocks. Now I'm even going to move the boars out of the way. If you want me, come and get me. Okay. This is a tough one too. This is a very tough decision. I'm probably going to use the logistics more than the expert ballistics. The concern would be that if I never get the chance at expert ballistics again, and I'm sure I will, but the thing is I could instead, before I get expert ballistics, I could get advanced luck and expert luck, advanced estates, expert wisdom, expert navigation. There's just other things I could get first, and it may be that expert ballistics doesn't come around for a long time. I'm still going to take the logistics. That's a +5 to my knowledge. That was 2 major knowledge scrolls immediately. That's +3, +5. I got 160 magic points right now. I wish I had a 5th level spell right at this moment. Okay. We're going to take... I wish I had that button that allows me to view resources right now. To the FHeroes team, if you're looking for some possible feedback, maybe that would be a good place. Oh, I guess it tells me right here. My apologies. Never mind. You're already 5 steps ahead of me. It tells me right here how much gold I already have in my treasury. There's no need to try and click onto this menu. And so knowing that I have so much gold, I'm still going to take the gold. What? Why? Titans are very, very expensive. Giants are very, very expensive. I am going to want to get as many of those as possible. It's not going to hurt me to take some extra gold, even if I have plenty now. I may not have plenty later. That one kind of hurts my heart. Remember, I would have liked to have sent a hero up here, but because of this artifact, I chose not to. We'll take the expert archery in anticipation for having Titans and other great units later. I have really sent this army into the ground. This army was fairly well respected at one point in time, but since then they are whittled down to mostly nothing. Very sad. Many such cases. Well, at least I know I'm going to plug my battle dwarves into this slot here, and I'm going to kill stacks from top to bottom as much and as quickly as possible. Oh, if I bless them, they will for sure take out a stack. I just want the for sure right now. I think that'll be better than a cold ray or cold spell elsewhere. And I'm going to anticipate that these orcs will attack the battle dwarves and destroy the rest of that stack. Now, I moved the rocks out of this slot here, just so that way both orcs would not want to retaliate against the rocks or choose to attack instead of just retaliate. And that way I can reduce the hits, and then I could potentially, that might have saved one, it might not have. This is the artifact that doubles the effectiveness of our Hypnotize spell. We haven't seen Hypnotize on the map yet, but we've seen this artifact plenty of times. Once we find it, we will have a field day Somebody needs to bring the popcorn. I will bring the soda. It's going to be Shasta because, I mean, if you're buying soda for like 20, 30 people, then you don't want to necessarily have like the good stuff. I'm sorry, you guys are totally worth the good stuff. I apologize. I will change. I can change. 1,000 experience. We are going to take the wisdom. Because even a crappy low-level hero, you know, level 3 hero with expert wisdom, if I get a very devastating level 5 spell, I can do some pretty nifty things even with a very low-level hero. The only thing would be mana spell points, but 30 would be enough to do some pretty funky things. Let's head back. Do note that right now I can absolutely, if I wanted to, improve this castle. Here's the question. Do you want to wait just a little bit and get the cloud castle? I should be getting my enough gems naturally in 2 turns. Or do you want to get the giants for sure? Or do you want to get the upgrade and then start doing some other stuff? The cloud castle only takes a nominal amount of wood and ore. I think, based off of my kingdom resources, I think I'll be able to either trade for the resources I need or find them along the way if I do want to upgrade my town right now. So, and truly, if I do this, my next purchase could be a marketplace if I can find some wood very quickly. And perhaps that will help me come out ahead. Perhaps. I have a couple of turns before day 7. Well, I'll be. Actually, I'm going to make my trades now because I've got a trading post right here. That'll increase the effectiveness of my trading by so much. I know I'm going to lose this gem mine next turn. There is a Aerie who has a few dragons. Remember, he retreated from an earlier battle, so he's back, and now he's got dragons. So what are we going to need to get the Cloud Castle? We're going to need the gems. I think that he's going to take the gem mine right now, and so I'm not going to get +1 production at the start of next turn. I will need at least 1 wood. I should increase myself by 1 wood. But then again, I got 2 turns before week 7, so I'm not going to worry about the wood. Tell you what, though, I am going to want some additional gems just because Titans cost gems anyway. So let's do it with the Mercury. Why the Mercury? It's because we have 2 Alchemist Labs, so that's going to be the resource we have in most abundance. Let's head deeper this way. Pick up every obelisk we possibly can. I'm guessing that there's a Oh, what's that? Look at that. I believe that is a red flag on the top of a turret, and the turret is an indication of a dungeon town. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense. Okay. It's going to be okay. We got this, guys. We got this. He did not even take the gem mine. I feel like that could be very telling. Does that mean that he saw Sister Eliza because the fog of war has been revealed there for them and he's just saying, nope, 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 I'm getting out of here? Or did someone else find enough obelisks that the computer is saying, I can dig for the ultimate artifact with fairly good certainty, and they're pulling all their heroes to that one spot so that they can search effectively? I don't know the answer. I'm a little scared to find out, but I think that I will find out very quickly. I'm going to try and stick around long enough to get another week's worth of growth here. I might as well stay in this town overnight because I only have 150 movement points left. That'll just get me 1 step out. And then I'll see if I can get one other hero close enough to help ferry troops from point A to point B. I'm very concerned. I've got so much of the map here that I can only imagine how much of the map the enemy has. You might as well run for it. See what you can see, girl. Oh, if I'd walked a little slower, I could have readjusted, and I probably could have gotten that last obelisk. So that was a mistake on my part. I got antsy. I am going to probably end up picking up a third hero here. For Vitania, is there anything I need to worry about with her? Nope, she's level 1. She has no artifacts. She will die, and that will be sad. I will opt to pick up this. Yeah, I'll pick up the statue this turn because I don't really care about the boars at this point. I may not really use this town a whole ton just because it's gonna be difficult to get troops consolidated and then off into the wild blue yonder. So for now, I will just take the extra gold and hope that what? And just hope that things go better. Okay. Pause. That hero just died because of lots of halflings, right? I had this question in the last scenario because the red necromancer, you look at it and they just never got started. They just never really caught up. And I had the question, is the AI only going to take fights it knows it can win? Or will it try and fail sometimes? Because it looked like on the previous scenario, on scenario 6 Defender, that red might have just had some terrible luck early and then shot itself in the foot by building my town into a castle, paying the 5,000 gold, the 20 wood, the 20 ore. And that's why I had some easier fights later than I usually otherwise would. This gives me belief that perhaps the enemy will accidentally, completely botch a neutral creature fight, and that might be the difference between an easy game and a hard game. So a little interesting there to just kind of consider. We've got to start heading this way. I'm going to, well, I am going to pick up a hero now. Jeez, these both are terrible. I guess it won't really matter. I'm going to get rid of these skeletons and these zombies. I just am not interested in them at all. And I'm going to, again, pull the trick where this hero's movement points are going to be 1,400 next turn. And so that way I can see, okay, how far is he going to be able to travel? And therefore, like, kind of pick things up. It looks like it's not going to be all that far. I think I can have Sister Eliza only go about that far before he's going to run out of movement points. Granted, today he has 1,000 out of 1,400. He has 1,000 out of 1,400, and he's going to get an extra 400 movement, so she can actually go just a little further. I'm guessing to right there. If I really mess this up, I can go back a little bit, but now we've set up an effective ferrying technique, moving troops from the one hero to the other and getting an extra start on the adventure map. And again, I've now got 170 magic points on my main sorceress hero. I'm feeling pretty good, unless someone comes out of the darkness and attacks me. Remember, we don't want to get too prideful, otherwise we start to make terrible decisions. And when I say we, I mean me. Let's take the giants for sure. Let's... Oh boy. We've got 1,000 gold left after we purchase those dragons. You know that? Or those giants, excuse me. I wish that I had purchased only 3 giants instead of 4, because the 2,000 gold would have been incredibly useful here. So with this being said, knowing that I'm going to not be able to recruit all the creatures in here, I'm going to take this stack of steel golems. I'm going to be slow, and that's fine. And I will otherwise take the flyers instead of the shooters, and we're going to be a ground-based army, plus some halflings, and try and roll this into something successful. So there are some shooters that will take some hits. The giants, and I guess I'm going to take the steel golems over the boars. I'll lose some initiative because giants are only average speed, whereas the boars are fast. That could be a problem. I'm not sure though, and I'm not going to worry about it until it becomes a problem. I'm not going to go north. I don't think that there's nearly so much for me up there as there is down here. Aha! Oh no. I don't think I wasted any movement points, but look how close I am. Look how close I am. And now I'm wondering, should I have taken expert ballistics? Considering I now have exactly 7 shooters in my army to benefit from my expert archery. Okay. I'm going to see if they will come out of their castle and attack me. And if they do, then I will more or less have my answer as to whether or not they think they can beat me. If they don't come out, if they stay in there, then they probably think I can probably beat you with a defender's bonus. I think they could probably beat me with a defender's bonus. But if they come out and attack me, they will probably think, yeah, we can take you even though you've only got, no good stacks of shooters and just giants. That bodes well for me. They've purchased many more creatures. But I will continue to adventure. I'm actually going to send this hero in here to see if it's worth it for me to come into this hamlet. Or, excuse me. It's not really a hamlet. A hamlet is more of a town. This is more of like a meadow. There goes my 7 shooters. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. That's what I'm looking for. And even if all I do is find where it's at and continue to get obelisks, if I see the enemy start to dig, I know I got to get over there now. And in fact, I may try and disrupt them with minor heroes if I see them start to do that. I'm going to take whatever weird troops are in here. This morale is just the worst. Troops of 4 alignments is -2 morale. And so when I step out of the town, it's just looking ugly. These poor guys. The dwarves, the orcs are hitting on the sprites. The dwarves are fighting the centaurs because they don't like that they have 4 legs. And then the nomads are having a hard time keeping their horses away from the centaurs. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And I feel bad for my poor army. I understand why their morale is awful. I get it, guys. I get it. Let me start to build up this town with just some of the cheaper buildings I can. Yeah, I lost that treasure chest, but perhaps I can run away far enough that he won't reach me and I can still be useful here. That's a little annoying that he's nearby enough. I don't necessarily think that neither this hero nor this hero will be able to take my town with the defenders. And even if they do, they are not, that's not going to lose me the scenario. Everything hinges on finding the ultimate artifact. This may be one big last push. Maybe I never get Titans in this game. Maybe I roll my spell power into enough of an advantage where I fight whatever I want to fight and I don't worry. If that's what this turns into, it'll be a little concerning. I am going to keep... Oh no. I'm going to keep Kendra. I was a little concerned with how fast he moved. He covered a lot of ground, even though he's got a creature that moves 2 units, so he's going as slow as he possibly can. I wonder if he has an artifact like Traveler's Boots or something that allows him to... Hold on. That allows him to move faster. Hold on. What did I say? I said that maybe it looked like there might be some runes, or excuse me, some ruins, not runes, in the puzzle map. I was saying right here that might be ruins. And then there's a little secondary shrine. So this might be adding up a little bit. I'm guessing not nearly so much. I'm guessing not. Not quite. I would need that. I would need to have a sawmill right here for that to make any sense. And again, I don't think that the terrain makes sense. The tree pattern and just, I mean, this dark, this looks like more like dirt. It looks like these are inverted, actually. It looks like this is light and that'd be dark on this map. But instead, this is light and that's dark. So this is not it, but this is kind of close. If there's a sawmill right here, I will reevaluate. Let's see. There's not, and so I'm going to head for this far corner so that if the artifact is in the far corner, we can find it. That was a very terrible pathing mistake. I truly feel like every little bit is important here right now. What? What in the world? Did you see how far he moved with the slowest unit? How is he so much faster than me? I actually meant to fight that fight, but I in my shock, I did not. Yeah, I meant to fight that fight. Okay. We are here to brawl, and we might as well make sure that our halflings stay safe. And since we're trying to keep our troops safe, and they got to come to us anyway, let's protect the rocks. Let's let the battle dwarves take some hits. And then I'm not worried about taking losses here for either of these units. If the steel golems lose some units, I don't care. I would like to keep this stack of battle dwarves as healthy as possible because they're a good target potentially to bless later. Because there's this many, that's a good opportunity. So let's... Ooh. So that expert archery just kicked in really hard. How much damage did they do? Where is this? They moved the nomads, steel golems. Halflings did 221 damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. I'm just going to have these dwarves take some hits in a second. Maybe not. I'll have the steel golems take the hits instead. Maybe not. That damage feels a little inconsistent from those halflings, but granted, that is normal. They do between 1 and 3 damage, so they are going to have from shot to shot. They're going to have a pretty big range. There's beach. This is the first time we've really come across beach in mass quantities. Usually we see just a little bit of beachfront property, but lots of beach to walk on. Because Sister Eliza has basic pathfinding, it's normal, but otherwise for heroes without any pathfinding, it's a little bit difficult to traverse. I'm just trying to make sure that I find where this... I'm trying to find where this thing is. I don't know where this thing is. We've got to defend immediately. I would hate for them to get any kind of giant power. I do have my captain's quarters, but I do have the opportunity to get a necromancer. So he's going to have +2 spell power, +2 knowledge, and basic wisdom. So I'm going to take him. I'm going to take all of the shooters I can. I'm going to get rid of the skeletons immediately. And who is left? I will take my... I'll take many of my best garrison units. I'm going to take exactly 1 boar, so I have some ability to fight. I'm going to take 2 rocks, and I'll take these 7 halflings. And now, the thing is, though, is I think that now really is the time to just clean out all my resources. I so desperately want the Titans, but I don't think that's the objective. I think the objective right now is survive and then live today, fight tomorrow. And if I have to do some kind of base race scenario where... Pause. If I have to do some kind of base race scenario, I'll be a little bit put out. I wish I hadn't just traded the wood there, because I could, well, no, I messed this up a little bit. I don't want to have to do a base race scenario where all my eggs are in one basket, and that basket is Sister Eliza picks up the ultimate artifact or bust. I'm not going to worry about trading resources for the other marketplace. I'm just going to take the loss at this point. I'm going to save the gems. I'll save most of the precious resources, and that's only going to pick me up the rest of the halflings, and then the rest is going to go into rocks. It's not great, but it's serviceable, and we'll see where this goes. They've only got one or two or three hydras in each stack. If he tries to take me, he better have some serious spell power. I do have to be concerned about red dragons coming up this way. And let's see how far this gets us. Okay. I might as well... I'm not going to do that. I might as well take the experience. We're just going to make sure the rocks don't suicide into the golems. It's too perilous for them to go so far. It's so nice to see the difference between the steel golems and the iron golems. They just... It's no comparison. One is sharp and shiny, and one is a little bit dull. It's like... If you have played Heroes of Might and Magic 3, it's like the castle unit, the Griffin. The non-upgraded version just looks like... It looks like birds when they're first, like fresh out of the egg. Because they don't really look right. They just don't look right. It's like, you're going to be a bald eagle someday? It's kind of hard to believe. But otherwise, you... let's see. Otherwise, you know that they're going to be something someday. But for now, they're just looking like these odd little fluff balls. And so for that reason, I will always upgrade Griffins in my... Here's my Magic 3 Castle playthroughs. If I'm going to use them, I'm always going to have Royal Griffins. Now, this is a level 7 hero. I don't know where or when they lost him. No, I do. They lost him to, it was a pack of halflings after he took out one of my heroes, Vitania. He took out Vitania, and then he immediately died to some halflings. I know that I just purchased this hero, but even if it's just for knowing what kind of spells they have in their mage guilds, I want to know what spells I might have to fight at some point. I'm going to keep this hero. I'm not going to just dismiss him. I'll send him up into the snowy plains just to see if there's something extra, but then I'm absolutely going to get Falagar. I guess, now that I think about it, I didn't actually have to recruit him. You can see what spells are in a hero spell book when you're in this menu. You just gotta right click on them and click on their spell book, and you can see what spells they have. But all the same, he's still a level 7 hero. I'm not mad at all. View mines, he has view mines. Okay, this is good. This is very good. He's also got lightning bolt. I'm fine with that. But no upper tier mage spells other than that. Let's cast View Mines. Okay, so what are we looking for? We are looking for W for wood. W for wood. So there's this wood mine. There's excuse me, sawmill there. Sawmill there. Sawmill here. There's only 3 sawmills. It's got to be right here. Look at this. Sawmill. Shrine of the Second Circle. Ruins. And that's our heading. We found it. Okay. How long ago did I find this? I found this a while ago. I'm concerned about this hero because he is, I don't know. He may not know exactly where it is as far as the obelisks go. But he can start digging and he might get it. Or they might have visited every obelisk. I know for sure that the enemy has not visited this obelisk or this obelisk. They haven't gotten that far. I don't think that, yeah, and they did not visit this obelisk. So there's at least 3 obelisks that they are missing. But that they might still have enough information as the red to push and make a push to win the game with that artifact. I'm going to sell out. We're going to base race it. Oh, buddy, the one thing I said I didn't want to do, we're going to do it. I'm going to try and trade enough resources to get another hero. I'm just not going to have enough. I wish that I could. I really wish that I had just a little bit more. I don't think that Falagar is going to be able to pick up anything. I guess if I had the windmill, that would have been enough. I'm going to send him down just to chase this guy out. I understand he's there. I think that this hero, Ranlu, could not have beaten Wraithmont, but I think that Falagar sure can. Change of plan. Everybody converge on this point. We're going to start digging. Oh boy, this is Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island coming up very quickly. And I don't even care. I don't even care if I lose my main town at this point. Nothing else matters. I will pick up these obelisks as I'm walking through here. Pick up this one. And pick up this one. Oh, buddy. Just stay away from me. You want my town? Have it. I don't care. The only issue with losing all your towns is this. If you do lose all your towns, you have exactly 7 days to win the map. This is a calculated risk. This is rolling the dice a little bit if they get both towns, but the timer doesn't start until I lose both towns. Let's get that. Oh, buddy. Let's get this obelisk. That one's already been visited. There's probably some obelisks up in this area and maybe even around here that I didn't get, and probably 1 or 2 over here. I'm missing a couple, that's for sure. But we will see. We will see. It makes no sense just to lose. Let's wait for our main hero and try and combine some forces. Because several red dragons, that's very concerning. At this point, I'm overmatched. I am overmatched. Perhaps I can send Ranlu over here, and he can be a distraction for Atlas to get him out of here. I do want to get my heroes in, but I don't want him to be close enough that Atlas thinks it's a good idea to turn around. I will take the fort because combat stats are still going to be potentially important, especially defense, because she only has 3 defense. Atlas is a barbarian. He's going to have massive amounts of attack skill, I believe. Well, maybe not, because he isn't a hero I've seen on the board for this entire game. So maybe he's a recent purchase. Yeah, Wraithmont they've had since the very beginning. Let's flood this area. Absolutely flood this area. They're not going to teach you this strategy on any tutorial. Oh, this is going to blow up horribly in my face. This is going to be terrible. Why am I like this? I do have more gold. I'll save it for next turn to see what these heroes do. I really want them to make a decision so that I can combine forces and then hopefully dominate. Oh, That was a terrible mistake. I did not realize that he could reach. That's a terrible mistake. And that might be game losing. So I haven't been about my business. That's my bad. We still have one town. Let's see if we can do something this way. If we can pick up these troops and get close enough to Sister Eliza, then we can make some magic happen. Okay, let's make some magic happen and fight this fight. We gotta fight this fight. We can't ignore this fight. And quite frankly, all of our other choices up to this point really could not have mattered that much for this reason. Either I can take this fight right now or I can't. That's all there is to it. Everything I've done, the only differences I would make if I play this map again would be getting the giants first and foremost early on. I don't have somehow I messed this up. I don't even have a 5th level mage guild, and I don't have titans. Very interesting. Okay, let's pick up these troops. We're gonna need them. And let's make this hard decision. For sure, we're going to take the halflings. And which is better? Steel golems or rocks? This army does not have any shooters. But I already have a fair amount of tanky units. I think I'm going to stick with this. We are going to win or lose off the strength of our brawling capability, just basic stats against basic stats. And while those basic stats are fighting, we're going to see if I can do enough spell damage to the Minotaurs, to the Griffins, while all my other units focus on those red dragons. One thing I've never pointed out, I do get the chance here. One thing I've never pointed out is this function. Right here, you can be in a spread formation, which I am naturally in. It makes sure that you see from top to bottom, everyone has at least one empty space in between each section on the army. I can always do a grouped formation. It bunches my army together in the very center of the battlefield. Against dragons, that would be the worst decision I can make, but it is worth noting that that has always been an option available to me. Grouped formation, I'm sure that there's some value there. I never use it. At this point, it'd be like teaching an old dog new tricks. I'm stalling because I'm scared. All right, let's do better. Here's the deal. We probably killed all of the red dragons in this fight. And we may have like a couple of the hydras left over. It's probably how close this fight was. But when we fight it, we're going to be smarter, faster, better, stronger. Let's do it. So remember, what's our first objective? It's whack the red dragons until they die. Just whack them dead. Mass Bless is going to give us the best chance of doing that. We've got to Mass Blessed and do some damage that way. Atlas the Barbarian has 3 attack, 2 defense, 1 spell power, 2 knowledge. He's got some spell power, or excuse me, some spells he can cast probably, but they're not going to be very powerful. He might not even have a spell book. I'm guessing that the hero or the AI didn't let him leave a town without it, but all the same, maybe not. So Mass Bless, excellent spell. All of my troops are blessed. We're going to be doing full damage every swing we get. I'm not sure if the red dragons are going to go south or if they're going to go north, but either way, my giants are going to be able to react and respond to what they got going on. And I hope that they actually go for the Magi, because I think that blessed halflings will do a ton of damage. Remember, I do have expert archery. Let's begin. Okay. The good thing about that is that they go right into my dwarves, who are blessed and are going to do some damage there. We are focusing these dragons. These dragons have a defense skill of 15, so even my giants, who have an attack skill of 13, are doing 10% reduced damage to these red dragons. That's tough. That's tough. I think I can take out this whole stack of griffins. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I'm a little concerned because if the dragons fly and get on my magi, then they're going to be out of position for my dwarves and my giants to really make some headway. Alternatively, if it was me, I would use the red dragons to attack 2 of these stacks, use the flame breath to get 2 hexes worth of damage off. We'll see what they end up doing. Okay. And once again, the battle is simplified. I'm going to assume that these dwarves are going to take care of these Minotaur Kings. If these Medusas petrify any of my stacks, I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind. We've done pretty much everything we can for buffing purposes. I suppose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I suppose I could buff my giants so they have Bloodlust, and they will do additional attack skill, and then they will be doing plus or additional damage to the red dragons as opposed to negative 10% damage. They'll go from 13 attack skill up to 16, and then I'll be doing plus 10 damage with them. I think that if I can get the dragons and these other units taken out, I have 158 spell power. I can run away from these hydras all day, and I can sling spells at them until the cows come home. If you are not American, trust me, that's totally an American thing to say. We say it all the time. Trust me, all the time. Good, good. And now our 16 attack giants. See how much better we do this time. We did do better. We absolutely did better. Oh no. Oh, that's good. I'm actually fairly okay with that. I don't like that he's hasted, but it only lasts for 1 turn. That's not terrible. My giants are going down quick. We are going to need to start cold raying these hydras. We're going to kill lots of them every time, and we just got to trust that by the strength of our dwarves and our steel golems that we can take out these red dragons. Actually, I think we have to do 1 more bloodlust. I think we have to bloodlust the dwarves now, because right now they're attacking at a 15 defense versus 6 attack skill. They're doing like a negative 20% damage to these red dragons. This, by bloodlusting them, that is 15% more damage I'm going to be doing than I would do right now. I don't love to do that when I've got hydras coming up fast, but 308 damage from that stack of battle dwarves. That was worth it. That was absolutely worth it. We're just going to stay on these dragons. Thankfully, I've got some excellent tree coverage here. And so the hydras are not moving nearly as far or fast as they would like to. I like that the computer said, we really want to get rid of your battle dwarves buffs, because that lets me know that I was on the right track. The dwarves are blocked off from this fight. And because they're blocked off from this fight, and because I want to get my units scattered, it might be worth it to me to just reposition everybody further away from the hydras, cast another buffing spell on my power stack, and then that way they have to choose between dispelling or speeding up the hydras. And I can set it up so where the red dragons are not going to hit 2 stacks at once. Except these steel golems are absolutely going to kill 1 more red dragon. 74 hit points? Do you think steel golems can do 74 hit points? How much damage did they do last time? They did 72. It's close. This is so tough. I may just lose these giants right now to this. Well, no, not to the breath attack. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buff. Well. Nope. I'm going to Cold Ray the Hydras. The giants are going to attack and do enough damage that the steel golems can finish off one more red dragon. And then my battle dwarves are going to get across the map in preparation for doing the dance of staying far, far away from the hydras. Because eventually I think that the red dragons are going to keep attacking. But for now, I think that next hit I would lose this giant to the red dragons anyway. I'm not going to worry about it. I do want to get my bless off on these dwarves for later. And then let's do the best we can there. Now they're blessed and bloodlusted. And I can come back into the fight. And I anticipate that we can kill this dragon here. But I think that we'd actually be better off taking out the hydras for sure. However, at this point, I feel satisfied that we are going to walk away with the victory here. I see this going our way. Which is better? Cold Ray doing 180 points of damage or Bless? I can always get lucky and do extra damage anyway. Okay. Costly, but we had to fight that battle. We had to fight that battle. He has no artifacts. That was kind of a dinky hero. He wasn't that great. His army was just absolutely terrifying. And now we have all the obelisks we can get around here. Let's go to the adventure map, go to the puzzle map, and you can't see this, but I'm using my fingers on my computer screen to line up these objects on the adventure map, you know, kind of triangulating them, and then at the very center of the map, I'm putting my finger and I'm going to start there for digging, which is right there. That's the very center of the map. It takes a full day of digging to dig. And so let's plan this now, and she's going to dig. Sister Eliza's going to dig right here next turn. And then we're going to send Rialdo there. We're going to send Ranlu. He's not going to get all the way over there. He's going to dig there. Falagar is going to dig there. Let's get Ariel and Sabu in there. I know that Wraithmont is here, but it can't be helped. It cannot be helped. However, it can be helped that I get an additional hero and send more people that way. As many people digging as possible is going to be useful. Okay, let's see what he does, but otherwise we're gonna dig. Let's see. It's gonna take a while to get around that. That's not the optimal digging spot, and if I can get these heroes through a little bit better, that should help me out a little bit more. And every hero lost is one digger lost. Few giants, few green dragons, not a lot of units. Maybe I can pick up some Medusas. I'm not going to dig. I know that's the main thing I've got to do, but if I do some of this, it'll set me up for success in the long run, and this may be the best opportunity I have to do that. So let's see if we can get some Medusas. I'll take it. Let's take some iron golems. 51. I'll take them. And now these units can get through the side here. And next turn we're gonna have an absolute digging party. Falagar is gonna go right there. Ranlu, I'm gonna send him down. He may get attacked by Wraithmont, but maybe because my main hero is here, he's going to utilize some discretion. And he may just nip at these heroes' heels, which would be unfortunate. I'm going to purchase one more hero. We are committed to this course of action. I'll send her there, just so he doesn't feel so comfortable attacking. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Okay. So let's start. Let's start with Rialdo and have him dig. Now, I think that there's a hotkey D for dig. That just makes sense. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to do it the way that I know to do it. Nothing. Where could it be? Took 1 full day worth of digging, 1 full day worth of movement points. Falagar, you're my next biggest hope. Nothing. Where could it be? Sister Eliza. I am going to have her dig. Oh no, Kalindra's back. I'm going to have Sister Eliza dig. He's going to be here in 1 more turn. I'm going to have to fight a very tough fight. I'm going to have to fight a very tough fight. Do I have enough troops just to beat all 3 of these heroes and then dig to my own pleasure? I think so. I think Sister Eliza is that good of a hero, and I still have 142 spell points. These 2 artifacts, the +5 and the +3 to mana, are instrumental this game. And if I dig right here and she gets it, then the game's over and I win. I know that I just said that I'm rolling the dice and I'm trying to just win the game. I am winning the game. And this is how I'm winning the game. It's not by absolutely selling out. It's by doing the very best we can with what we got. So Ector, I'm actually not going to have him dig right where he's at. I'm going to have him move closer because I think that this is kind of closer. I mean, right here was the very dead center of that map. And Sabu, I'm just going to have him fill in. And then Ariel is going to move right where Sister Eliza is right now. But Sister Eliza is going to pick up troops from Rialdo. We're going to take the rocks and we're going to trade out for the Medusas so we have okay morale. I think I can kill here, and then at the very least I can defend this pass. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to forego digging. I'm going to fight this fight personally because every little bit matters right now. This would be a great time to have some nasty spells. He's got some nasty spell power, but he only has 12 spell points left. That's going to be 1 lightning bolt and a cold ray, or 2 cold rays. I would do 2 cold rays if I was him. There's no point in saving spell power. We got to use everything, maintain the troops we can, and see what offensive spells he throws at me. If he tries to kill my battle dwarves, I'll be the most happy with spells because they will possibly reduce the damage. I'm actually okay with that. I've got spells. I can undo that blind. And now you are out of spell points pretty much. So we're going to have them go down. We're going to cure the battle dwarves. Blind costs 7 spell points, so he cannot blind the battle dwarves again. He can curse them, he can slow them, there's lots of things he can still do, but I'm not as worried as I was. I'm going to actually send the rocks up top, so maybe these units will go towards them and then we can split stacks and we can fight people one by one. He might haste somebody, but if he does, we'll just have to be careful that we don't set ourselves up for a very good multi-attack. So we're going to just wait. Did you see that? What did I just tell you, dude? I told you that blind is worth exactly 7 spell points, and you made me look like a fool. What is your problem? Disappointed. Disappointed. Cure. We're going to need the dwarves. They're going to take out this main stack. I'm actually going to want to save these boars. I'm going to let these troops all do the damage, take the damage, and save my more fragile units because I just don't want them to get into this fight if they don't have to. And he flees. Can I reach? I cannot reach, but I can. Oh no. Oh no. I thought that this would be like a pass that, well, and perhaps it is. I think that this is probably the one place I can stand so that she cannot get past me. And then I'm just going to have to hold on. Hope for the best. Note that even if I lose Sister Eliza, I don't lose the game. But if he gets past her, he's going to start cleaning house with all of these really, really, really weak heroes. So, going to dig next time, dig next time, dig next time. Move, move. And then Ariel is going to take the spot that was just vacated by Sister Eliza. And then Luna is going to be over here. I like this. The tension is palpable. Okay, so let's just dig where we need to dig. You, Luna. You dug and you failed. Let's do Sabu. Sabu. Dig. No. Ektor. Dig. No. Ranlu. Dig. No. Ariel. Ariel. Dig. No. Okay. Okay. This actually happens a lot. When you don't know exactly where it's at, you're really doing yourself a huge disservice. In order of fights I want to fight the harder battle first and then the easier battle second. I know that he's got dragons and giants, but I still think that several red dragons is the harder fight. I'm hoping it's not 6. I'm hoping it's 4. Four I can take. I think I can take 4, but I don't think I can take more than that. Real quick, let me figure out where Falgar is going to move. I think he's going to... Are you kidding me? You're stuck? I thought I could go over my own. I knew that, actually. I don't know why I boxed him in. I knew better, and I did it anyway. Okay, my bad. Let's recheck the map just to reorient ourselves. I'm doing my super secret awesome finger technique again. One wonderful thing I gotta point out about FHeroes2 is that the minimap control like that is so much smoother than it used to be. So much smoother than it used to be. It used to go in chunks as far as how precisely you could move the map. Rialdo is going to go low, and we're going to start going in here. I might have been digging too high. I might have been better off served digging down here. But this way I don't feel bad about guessing so much if I'm able to fight these fights and win these fights. No guarantees. Are there any troops I should pick up? There's really not. There's really not. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. I like that the computer says I'm going to win. But let's make sure. 5 red dragons. That's highly concerning. I remember Kalindra. So she had access to, I believe, the 2nd level Mage Guild. I don't think she had basic wisdom at the time, but she does have 3 knowledge, 3 spell power. So when I mass bless my troops, that's not necessarily going to go so well. I'm very worried about this. This is terrible for me. I'm expecting these red dragons to fly across the map, and if I can't navigate through these choke points, I'm going to be in real trouble. I'm going to move the boars up just enough that they might have the opportunity to threaten these centaurs. Eventually I'm going to have to get these shooters, but for now I've got to beat down this stack of red dragons as much as possible. Did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. That makes a lot of sense though. That's so smart. It puts the onus on me to take my really slow troops and move them across the battle. They did 41 damage. Is that a lot of damage? No, but it's enough damage. It's absolutely enough damage. Where if I fight the fight on their terms, that's going to be some significant damage. And in the meantime, my dwarves are... my main stack is going to start bleeding once the defense goes down even further. They're going to start bleeding to bonus damage. Let's get across the map. If I haste my dwarves, they will get the first attack on the red dragons. The boars will take the retaliation, and then the dwarves will hit the red dragons. We are going to do that. I'm a little bit loath to lose such an important spell, but I think that that's my best bet, especially since if these dwarves eat another disruption ray, that's going to be an extra 30% damage everybody's going to be doing against them. So let's get rid of the... I guess I don't know how the game works, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I guess I don't. And now he's done what I've done to other people, and I've separated my units, which is going to make it hard to focus anything. Wow. Wow. It's not worth blessing the dwarves anymore. But then I have no other way of dealing with the red dragons. This is the second time in all the campaigns I've ever really lost a fight I cared about. But I am going to lose it. Now the iron golems are still blessed. They're slow. But they're going to get this hit on these red dragons. If I bloodlust them, they're going to go from 5 to 8 attack skill. They're still going to be taking reduced damage, but that's a big stack. And at 4 to 5 damage, there's some power there. Let's bloodlust. You know it's bad when you're bloodlusting iron golems. Let's take out these shooters. That was totally a waste. I know it was a waste. I know that was a waste, but and now they're too far away from the red dragons to really get anything. Now it makes sense to mass bless. These aren't blessed. These aren't blessed. Might as well bless them. And we ignore the griffins. We ignore the gargoyles. Unfortunately, the gargoyles are going to soak up a lot of my retaliation shots. And I don't like it, but it's going to have to be. Unless I can do this. Take them out now. I can get this shot off. Was I overreacting? The answer is yes, but still. Like, yes, but no. Let's make sure we don't line up our troops for that breath attack. Well, yeah, no, it's not worth 2 of these griffins, but I can't get any closer to these dragons if I don't. Unless I go here, and then I'm 2 spots away. Okay. Blessed. Yeah. Well, and the bless is only doing 4 to 5. Like, it's not increasing the damage by a lot. 4 to 5 is not doing a lot. I'm best off bloodlusting them. I'm going to wait to bloodlust them until it's their turn. Because I'm guessing that we're going to get just no more spell points. It doesn't matter. She has no more spell points. Let's bloodlust them. Let's have the dwarves take the hit. Yeah, the dwarves are basically done. Now let's end this fight. Skip. That hurts so much. 86 battle dwarves. Now, it was the harder of all the fights. It was the harder of all the fights, but now I'm looking at a few... now I'm looking at a few giants and a few dragons. Here's the deal. If I had purchased those giants, we would be in the driver's seat. That mistake has absolutely cost us. Potentially, it's cost us the game. Somebody had Medusas. Has it been a new week since that happened? I want him to dig. If I go, oh, they're empty. That's so nice. It tells me that they're empty. There is a magic well here. And then if I'm able to kill the dragons, then I will be able to cast spells on every other unit. For sure. Do I need to stop in at the magic well? If I run out of movement points, I'm going to be so sad. Hold on. Let's go. I don't want to run out of movement points. But I think is 89. Let's do some calculations. 89. That's one bless. And then how many cold rays? 12. Like 4, so that's 8, so that's 6. So 1 mass bless and 6 cold rays. Let's call it 8 cold rays. You know, plus some bloodlusts, some hastes, some cures. Yeah, I think I have to risk it. And if I don't make it, he's going to clear out all these heroes, and I'm going to be so sad. If I lose this game, I'll know that I fought a good fight. I made some poor decisions. There was a lot of places where I could have won, but I love that the margins for error are so small. What makes it a good game? Not that you walk over people, and not that you're overmatched and you lose every time. A good, close game. That is why Heroes of Might and Magic 2 is great. Let's see what happens. Okay. But now, I do have additional troops. I do have all my spell power. I think actually here that I'm going to go here and trade with Sabu. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just realized I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I've got the Freeman's Foundry right here. How did I miss that? Somebody in chat is going to be like, dude, I absolutely saw this and I couldn't help you. I appreciate we don't have backseat drivers on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm thinking to myself, oh my word. I believe that it'll be best for me to separate into 2 shooters, so they have to divide 3 shooters, so they have to divide their attention. They will probably feel like they have to come my way anyway. They don't have any shooters, so they're coming to me. So because they're coming to me for sure, do I split these steel golems? I don't think so. I think that if I can keep these steel golems as healthy as possible, we'll be in a good spot. We're going to move Sabu over here for next turn. We're going to move Falagor over here. We're going to move Ekdor over here. And Ranlu is going to go right here. So I lost 3-4 diggers. Let's make this happen. If the computer says I win, if the auto combat wins this fight, I'm still going to have to fight it. And then I may lose. Okay. I'm actually kind of glad. 1 dragon. That's totally doable. That's totally doable. Bad morale. This is so doable. Now, here's the deal. They can move 3 units. They can go kill these 29 gargoyles. I think I will do that. I will cure the steel golems so that they can go take out those gargoyles. That'll be worth my time. And we may just play this game where they keep blinding and I keep curing. But eventually I'll start doing cold rays on the giants, and that's gonna do some serious damage. That's going to do some very serious damage. I am very concerned about this stack of Minotaur Kings. I'm very concerned. Minotaur Kings are excellent. Their attack is 10, and so they're only going to be taking, my steel golems will take 20% reduced damage, but I'm worried about that stack. I'm not worried about the dragon. I'll take care of that when I can get to it. And then the nomads, as far as dealing with these steel golems, I'm not so worried about it. Guys, we got this. We've got this. If I can, I want to keep my steel golems somewhat active, but not out here, because I don't want them to get hit more often than they have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like wherever I go, the Minotaur Kings will get them, but then they'll have to choose between nomads and Minotaur Kings. Who's going to get the hit? I don't think it really matters where the orcs fire and attack. They're just there to distract, like that. Mission accomplished. They distracted. They did well. Now here's the problem. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're taking some hits. We're taking some big hits. We're gonna bless so that we get rid of the curse. That was probably a mistake. Because again, 4 to 5 damage. Bless is only going to make sure. It's the difference between 1 damage. This Bless did 58 hit points worth of damage. That's not very good. That's not very good. I'm actually going to leave. Well, let me think. Let me take out as many of these nomads as I can. And then let me just start blasting. Absolutely blasting these giants for 200 damage apiece. We got this, brother. Let me take out the magic immune unit. We got this. We got this. Feels good, man. Feels real good. With the garrison unit, with the de facto garrison unit steel golems coming in clutch. We live another day. My word. Kinetic Pendant, no paralyze. Statesman's Quill, 10% of the total cost to surrender. And that was it. And now Sister Eliza is going to land right here, and she's going to dig next turn. We've got at least 3 turns before old Bushel Britches reaches us. All of you guys dig. Don't even think. Just dig. Do your job and dig. 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 Wow. This is a struggle. And I don't think that she can actually reach. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way through here. You have to go all the way around. That's bad. That's very bad. And so since she's already kind of committed to this, let me check one more time and see what her next point of digging should be. I mean, we know where it's not. We know it's not in here because we can see right there. If you look right below, there's no X over there. It could be in there. It's more likely right in this area. It's more likely just right here in that area. And if I sit right here, I can block this enemy from attacking us. At this point, yeah, let's just keep the diggers alive. Oh, no. No. I can't survive another week's worth of units, especially if they got red dragons. I've got money. I might as well buy these dwarves. And these halflings. I probably should have picked up a champion or a hero last round, just so we could go further. Sister Eliza's just gonna, oh, she can't dig right there. If you right click, it'll say digging okay, digging not okay. I guess she can't dig right there. Everybody's gonna move, slide to the left, slide to the left. One hop this time. One hop this time. We're gonna get this. We're fine. We're fine. Digging is okay. Digging is okay. Where she's at, she cannot dig. I'm gonna send him there to dig next turn. And since she cannot dig, oh, she can dig, then she's gonna go there, and we're just gonna do one more round of this. It's close, man. It's real close. Okay. We have 7 more turns. Dig. 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 Oh gosh. Sister Eliza already dug last turn. I'm gonna have her go there. Well, I'm gonna have her go right here. I'm gonna have her go there. We have a, I guess we can't really dig in the tree line. It says, it doesn't say it's okay to dig. Yeah, and she was parked right on the tree last time. Okay. Okay. We are out of chances, guys. You got one more chance to move, and then we're in trouble. Yeah, it doesn't say digging okay. So I'm thinking that I need to just come into this clear ground and dig right in here. This is stressful. Wait, can you dig? No. Or yeah, you can. Woo! That was Ranlu coming in the clutch. This was his last chance. He's literally like, the shovel is hitting something hard at the bottom of this hole. He looks up and he sees this enemy champion, this enemy hero coming right for him, and he flings the dirt over his shoulder, and with that, the crown rises from its crypt. Congratulations. After spending many hours digging here, you have uncovered the ultimate artifact. If this is not a satisfying video, get out of my face. This is the ultimate crown. This is what we fought this whole fight for. It increases the basic skills of my hero by 4 points each. My primary skills, +4 to attack, +4 to defense, +4 to knowledge, +4 to spell power. Victory. You have found the ultimate artifact. Your quest is completed. Folks, I'm glad you get to be here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Alrighty. So that was the scenario number 7. Scenario number 8 that we just completed. We got the ultimate crown. That I don't know if that's going to be available for just the very last scenario, or if that will be available in this scenario as well. We have 2 more scenarios to go. We've been here for 265 days. This was fun. Thank you. Fix Fox, out.